Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. So let's dive in. I'll give you my opinions on the market, and they're just my financial opinions. Please don't use them as advice. And here we go. So here's the dollar. The dollar broke up. It's broken back down. It was coming back up, and we have a little bit of a sell-off today. So maybe this is marking a reversal point. Sometimes you get reversal points when it opens up and then sells back off, and it covers or shadows the top of the candlestick before it. Sometimes they call it dark cloud cover. Sometimes it's a bearish piercing. It doesn't necessarily meet the requirements because it's supposed to go below the 50th percent, the 50th halfway point of the candlestick before it, but sometimes they still work. It just doesn't work as often. So maybe we see the dollar come back here. The 10-year yield pulled back a little bit, 2%. We've been on a tear so far, and it still looks like the sellers of bonds or higher interest rates is still intact. So I still think that interest rates are going to go up over time. Are we going to go straight up? We'll see. Looking at gold, gold had a very good day today. Up, I've got $28. I mean, about 28 bucks. Looks really good. Big bullish engulfing here. Up, sideways movement, and then another big, large up day today. Let's see if we can close above this 1840 level, and definitely above 1870 would be another good spot to close above to get moving into a new high. What you do is you break the downtrend. That's step number one, and then you break this old high here. That's what we want to do. So 1870 is kind of the line in the sand at the moment. Silver looking really strong today, breaking out of its downtrend pattern here. Going above 24 and closing above 24, it looks like. So silver's looking really good. Lots of buying pressure, good strong close, and hopefully that can continue. Platinum, my boy Platinum, Platty, killing it. Let me just throw kind of, not that it really matters. Big update today, 41 bucks or so, up 4.17%, looking fantastic. I think it looks really good. And then the ratio, this is the XAU to gold ratio. We're trying to play with this ratio here. Let me get this in here. Bring it down there. We're just peeking our head out. We're doing a little bit of a turtle head. Hopefully we can break through this, close above it, and signaling that the mining companies are outperforming gold itself, and that we're going to get a nice big move to the upside for the gold and silver miners versus gold itself. Long-term view, we are in uber cheap area down here, and we could see a big, large move higher, which means that the gold and silver mining companies are going to outperform gold and silver itself. That's when you want to be invested in the gold and silver mining companies. So looking at some of the gold and silver mining companies, obviously they're doing quite well, up 10.4% for Karora Resources, looking really good, finishing strong. EXK, it's the same thing everywhere. Big buying pressure, small selling pressure, and we got another good big buying pressure day today. So that looks really good. SILJ's looking fantastic, big volume, good buying pressure, downtrend break, sideways movement. Now we're heading higher. Looks really good. GDX, similar move just to everything else. Big buying pressure, finish strong, good volume, everything looking good. Now some of these small exploration companies, it was up 7.7% today. Doesn't look much on the chart, but these are going to start to improve. These are probably areas that I would be looking into if you guys are interested. Koya Silver looking like it's putting in a bottom, looks really good, breaking its downtrend, got some volume behind it. That one looks excellent. Discovery Silver right at its resistance line. It's probably going to break to the upside eventually, but that one's also looking good. First Majestic Silver, AG, looking absolutely fantastic. I've made comments over here. If you're going to buy it when it's low, you buy it down here and you just hold on. Newmont Mining looking good. Big old update today, big volume. So everything's intact. Mag Silver looking good. Big buying pressure coming in. Yamana Gold. AUY, if we can get this thing to load here. Another big buying pressure. It's breaking out of its pattern. I would be a buyer here for sure. You might see a retest. You might get a retest out of this. So you can also, I don't know if I'd wait. It's up to you, but we might see a retest back to this top here before launching higher. I know platinum already did its retest, so I would expect platinum to kind of just take off. Here's Impact Silver moving higher. That one's looking good. Aftermath Silver, big 19.5% up day today. It's right at its resistance line. Hopefully we can close above it and keep moving. PLG looking good, up 20% today. This was one that I was buying. I tripled down, or no, I quadrupled my position right here. And now we're moving up. This is a descending wedge. I'm gonna hit log. Descending wedge into the corner. I bought it in this day here at $1.60 or so, I think. And we're heading on higher. Now we're up at $2. That's a good what? 40 cents over $1.60 or so. Something like that. So that's looking good. Sandstorm Gold. Now these are my favorite ones to buy, are royalty companies. I was saying that maybe it would take a little bit longer. Well, guess what? The buying pressure showed up. And I'm already positioned in all these companies, guys. I already own them. So I didn't do anything. But this is breaking to the upside. This is Sandstorm Gold. Lots of buying pressure, decent volume. It has the candlestick, the buying pressure and selling pressure like this. And it's stepping in and showing up and pushing it higher. Franco-Nevada is another one that showed up. It is negating what we saw before, which was larger selling pressure coming in. And now we're starting to see the buying pressure come in and rotate. So what we're seeing now, yesterday I was saying I don't like these days here. Well, guess what we've got today? We've got one big buying pressure day here, and then it showed up again. So it's changing, and this is probably what's going to happen. And my guess is you got to have that rotate first, and then you're going to break this big old pattern here, which breaks this, and you're going to get a big old run out of it. So I would be a buyer down here. That's what I would be doing. I have already purchased my shares. I'm loaded to the gills with this stuff, so I can't really buy anymore. Kind of ran out of monies, but I bought it, I can't remember, down here somewhere. And I bought it before that too. EMX, another one that I would be looking at accumulating shares in. If you guys want, this looks like it's still incredibly cheap. What it did is it broke out and then did a return move. We've got large wicks at the bottom, and I bet you we're going to be bottoming out right here, right now. So I would be a buyer in EMX. Teuton Resources, this is another one I would be a buyer in. This is a smaller royalty company. It's got a little bit more risk, but I think it will fly when the gold price gets up there. They've got a lot of royalties on a lot of different properties, and they have also do a lot of exploring. So they've got a lot of their hands on a bunch of different stuff. This is probably one of my favorite small cap royalty companies, and I'd be a buyer down here for sure. Wheaton Precious Metals is another one that I own a good amount in. Very big buying pressure today. I like how the royalty companies provide the leverage to the move, and maybe they didn't have as much leverage up here, but you carry far less risk. This is where I carry the bulk of my money in the gold and silver space, is the royalty companies. And Wheaton Precious Metals is looking really good here. Hopefully we can turn this around. Good volume, good buying pressure, good strong close. Gold Royalty, another one that I think is pretty good. They bought my Ely Gold Royalty shares, and I just left it in it. Metallo Royalty, very strong today. I like how the buying pressure is stepping in. Things are turning around, and hopefully that momentum can continue into the future. Mavericks Metals is another one that looks like it's rolling higher. I do own some Mavericks Metals in one of my portfolios, and I'm just holding on to it. Royal Gold, another one that looks like it's breaking its downtrend line. This is reversed. This is very bullish, guys. Today is a very bullish day. We might see a little bit of a return move backwards or a bloody nose, which is a small down day next to it, and then we'll move higher after that. And then Cisco Gold Royalty. Again, on some of these, I didn't like these large down selling pressure days until the buyers step in and show us big buying pressure on volume, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the big buying pressure on volume step in, and this is where we should be getting bullish and accumulating our shares. If you guys want to hold royalty companies or whatever you want to do, mining companies and royalty companies. I'm a big proponent of royalty companies because on the big long-term picture, if you were to kind of look at things, ESG is getting their hands in all this stuff, and environmental social governance is what ESG is. And I think there's a bunch of people that don't want mining to happen. And what that's going to do is drive the prices higher. And if you've got royalties on companies, it doesn't matter what the cost curves are. It doesn't matter what the input costs are. It doesn't matter what the regulations and rules are. It doesn't matter. Volume and price. That's what royalties make their money on. So you cut all the stuff that could potentially increase the price of the cost curves up, like ESG, emissions things, all these new investments to reduce emissions, increasing energy prices, etc., etc., the cost to get permits, the cost of all this stuff, taxes, it all goes away. And you get volume and price. So I like the volume and price. That's the way that I'm playing it. It gives you leverage to the price move, and that's what I want. I don't want all the other garbage. I just want leverage to the price move and expansion with volume. So I go after the smaller royalty companies because that's kind of where I prefer. I own the big ones too. I also put some money in the small ones, and that's my leveraged play. So a Teuton Resources or a Sandstorm Gold or an EMX royalty, those are my leverage plays, or a Mavericks Metals to the price move. So that's my opinion. You guys can obviously differ and do whatever you want. Some people go after the explorers. They carry a lot more risk. And some people go after some of the developers, and that carries more risk because if they're only developing one mine and something happens to that mine, it is a risk. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.